Welcome to Youth News. I'm Sean Schrader. Today we're talking about something that's really important, it's timely, coming up, and that's Election Day. Do you think that your vote matters? Is voting significant?
Most definitely.
Yes.
1,000%. It does.
I always say, if you cannot complain if you do not vote.
Yes.
So you can't be upset, oh, the governor's doing this, my representative's doing this, even the judges, because who picks the judges? The representatives you vote for.
Yep.
You cannot complain unless you vote. It takes at most an hour if you want to research, but really you can just bubble and say you voted, okay?
My first time voting, I made sure to do my research. Like, of course my parents voted for the same person, but forgetting what they said, I wanted to read into that person as well. And it's just like, I feel like it matters because there's like, let's say 100,000 people. Well, does my vote matter? Does my vote matter? But each and every one of those votes add up to 100,000, and that could really be the deciding factor if this person gets elected or this person gets elected. So I feel like every vote does matter, and I think you should vote if you have the chance.
Well, yeah, and so I guess then what do you think about it from the standpoint of, we have obviously two major political parties, and they kind of side on different things. I mean, one side, it's been real interesting to hear from the Republicans that talk about we need to reduce crime. Crime is a major issue, whereas with Democrats, it's more about protecting abortion access, protecting our environment, stuff like that. Do you think that those are big enough issues that can resonate with people? So like if you're a voter, and maybe you're not into the politics every day, you're looking to vote. Do you think that's a clear enough pathway for people to be able to kind of make that distinction for which party they should be going with?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say 1,000%,
most definitely.
yeah.
Because I think the Republican Party and the Democrats have such different values that it's totally different. It's totally different.
I feel like, those are also things that are like deciding factors with a lot of people. And honestly, I think those are things that should make you want to go and vote. Like something that is affecting you, something that will affect, I don't know if you have kids or siblings or parents or anybody.
Yourself.
Yeah, even like you want to take care of yourself and those around you that you love. And I feel like those things should be the reason why you want to get up and vote. Because I'm not into politics too much, but when I hear those things like, this bill is being passed or they're doing this, and I'm like, dang, I don't really agree with that. I'm gonna get up and vote.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get up and vote.
Exactly.
At least I know I tried. God forbid the person that I wanted didn't win. At least I know I tried. And I can see me, if I tried, I can complain. I have room to complain.
Yes.
If you sat at home and just did a bunch of this, but no this, no mail-in, no nothing, you don't get the room to speak.
That's right.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. And what's annoying is me and my boyfriend got in this argument how he said, oh, I didn't vote in 2020. And I was like, excuse me?
Wow.
He's like, well, I don't really think my vote matters. I was like, excuse
It always
me.
matters.
Oh, yeah,
Sir,
it does.
your vote always
matters.
It does. Well, and so that, I guess, is interesting when you think about it from that perspective, because I agree. I think it really does matter. But a lot of Americans feel that maybe the Republican and Democrat party system, the two-party system we have, doesn't really identify with a lot of people anymore. There was a poll that came out. I don't remember the exact number, but I believe it was a majority of Americans would be interested in having a third option to vote for. I know Andrew Yang introduced a third party a few months ago. I don't think that really went too far, but do you think that would be necessary? And like, if there were to be a third party, what would be, some of the issues that they would try and focus on tackling as opposed to the Democrats?
That's a good question.
I think that'd be pretty cool though. I think that would actually be cool to have a third party. For a moment when he said third party, I don't know why I thought about people who run as independent, but that's not a...
Isn't that technically third party?
It is, yeah. It is.
But I get what you're saying, I'm not gonna say that's not a legit party, a more down pat party, if you get what I mean,
Because I actually think too, if there was a third party, I feel like gun control would be something that, because a lot of people, I feel with Democrats, it's very let's take them all away. The Republicans are don't take them away. And I think a third party could have something that's in the middle that probably a lot of people could relate to and agree with.
Yeah, and I think, that word being a moderate, that's kind of a buzzword. I think a lot of people say it nowadays without actually,
especially on dating apps.
Oh,
a whole different story.
I'm screaming.
yeah, but It's like, with that though, I think it would be good to try and exemplify that moderate kind of idea, because that's needed. I mean, a lot of people don't want to be extreme on either side, where it's like
Exactly.
all or nothing kind of scenarios for any issue. So I think if there were a way to say, well, how can we take it down the middle, or take a more moderate approach, again, where people who identify with different groups can both agree with, I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
And maybe that can be our generation who does it.
I
Because
was just thinking
we
that.
are the future. Even though I feel like a lot of politicians don't target us, I think, yeah, maybe it'll be us who creates that third party that's for Generation Z. We're looking to the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like our generation, I'm not even gonna say might be, will be the change. Like the way we all think is not how like the last generation thinks.
Oh,
Yeah.
very much.
The last generation, they're set on like, this is what it is, black and white. We see the gray in between, like we see it all, and like, we what's the word? We move accordingly. if you know what I
Exactly.
mean.
We do.
We're flexible.
Yeah.
We're more flexible.
Yeah, we're more understanding with a lot of things. So it's like, yeah, I feel like our generation will be that change. And I'm actually a little excited to see like when our generation ends up running for president, whoever in our generation.
Exactly.
I really am excited to see how that's gonna go.
We
I'm
got
just-
like
yeah.
10 years, a little less than
Yeah, I
that,
was
where someone
thinking
Generation
somebody-
Z is
yeah.
like
Yeah.
qualifies
Yeah.
for it.
Hopefully, like we get somebody good.
Because I want young people in office.
Me
I don't
too.
want to be ageist, but like you just said, how older generations are stuck in their ways. They don't want to see change with like what's going on now.
Yeah.
If we have younger people, they'll be more open to changing. But I feel like
Yes.
when we have 75-year-olds, 80-year-olds in office, they're like, I've been doing this for 20, 30 plus years. I'm going to do what I want.
Well, yeah, and the big thing is they can't relate to the perspective we
Yes.
have, and
Exactly.
that's why you need people, I think, and it goes back to sort of relational
Yeah.
politics,
I was
which I
just
think
about
is
to
a
say.
growing term you see, where it's about how can you identify with somebody more than just whatever they believe in, but no, I can understand your life
Yeah.
experiences, I can understand your perspective, and your perspective can help actually make my change, and from the standpoint of voting, as opposed to people, again, they may be very well experienced, but
Yes.
it's like they use that experience to say, well, I know what's best, and you
Yeah.
really don't.
Exactly.
I think that's why a lot of people liked Obama. Like, he was a people's person.
He was a young
Yes.
face.
He was.
He was loved by the people as well, and I think that plays a big role into that.
And it'll be exciting to see what happens. And that's a really great place to end our discussion, but it does not have to end here. You can share your opinions by tagging us at Watch YNN. Thanks so much for joining us.